I think of my old dad sometimes. Now he's dead. And I think, I'm not going to be like you. No way. When I was a little kid, I thought he was quite something. Stuck his chest out, walked off to the bank, shoes you could see your face in. Little moustache, like they wore 'em in them days. End of the 1950s this was. Trimmed like a privet edge. Used to spend bloody hours getting the little hairs off each side with a razor so it ended just so. Always a safety razor though, too much of a coward for those open razors the real men used in them days. Cutthroat razors they called them. You could bloody see why if you looked at one. That should have told me what he was. Then one day, I must have been 12, we were off to Butlins for our holiday. Every year, train into London, train out to Minehead. Paddington Station. This drunk comes up. Starts shouting at the old woman, effing and blinding. So I waited for the old fella to come up, clip him one on the jaw. Don't you insult my wife, you swine. Should have punched him. Point of the jaw. So they go down and don't get up. Like how the cowboys do it in those films. Roy Rogers? He wouldn't have just stood there. Even Roy Rogers' girl, she'd have given him something to remember her by. Know what he did, my old man? Nothing. Fucking nothing. He's making sure my old woman's between him and the drunk. And, come along, dear, let's be on our way, he says. And we walks off quick, all three of us. And this drunk, he follows us. He's shouting all the way, filthy stuff, till we get to the ticket barrier. And the ticket collector, he says to the drunk, not through here, mate, hop it. Old drunk just slinks off. Made my dad look so big. Well, then I knew. And he knew I knew. Butlins that year, redcoats come up to him. Come on, Mr. Ramsbottom, come and join the fun. Year before he'd have said, I'm more than comfortable the way I am, thank you very much. Put them in their place. This year, he just gets up and runs round, do what they tell him to, trying to pretend he's happy. But he ain't. He's ashamed. That was it, really. That was the day it started, the day that led to it all, really. I had this boxing club at school, and I joined up. Of course I did. Only we had to go to this old gym, see? And it smelled rotten. Like people had been sweating there for years and no one had ever cleaned it up properly, and there's no proper equipment, just these old fellas wheezing and coughing and telling us, go on, hit him! Well, I went in and this old fat bloke, he puts the gloves on me and makes me fight this fella about twice my size. Well, he wasn't twice my size, not really, only he'd had plenty of practice. Anyway, first thing I knew, this fella hit me. On my nose, it was all bleeding. Well, that was it. I wasn't having that. I just walked out, just like that. Different if I'd gone to the grammar school. I heard they had the business there. New gym, punch bags. You just went there and hit it and it bounced away and didn't ever hit you back. Of course, I was born at the wrong time. couple of years later, my dad bought his own house. Over to the private estate we went. I'd have gone to the grammar school from there all right. Fair dues, the old man wanted me to go to the grammar. He sent me to a teacher. Paid him £0.50 a week to get me through the 11 plus. Mr. Taylor he was called. Old he was, retired, had fingers his funny colour, mixture of pipe tobacco and chalk. Snuffled and shuffled. Kept telling the old man I was going to pass. Knew I wasn't, but he needed the money. Mr. Taylor got my Saturday morning picture money. The bastard. My old man said he couldn't send me to the cinema Saturday mornings and pay Mr. Taylor too. I'd have to give up the cinema till I was in grammar school. But then my old man bought a telly instead. Better really, my mum says. Go to the cinema, you never knew who you'd meet in the queue. Might be some rough lout. Didn't have to worry about that in front of your own telly. Watching Roy Rogers. I had the Roy Rogers gear, see? This clean white ulster with studs on, and a 6-shooter with a pearl handle, and the leather trousers you have for riding horses. That's how they do things over there, America. Got big sports cars and they don't take no crap. You give them crap and they give you something to remember them by. Soft over here we are. We had this little garden. Well, the old fella called it a garden, sort of a yard it was really. But you know, for me, it was the prairies, you know? It's the Wild West. Kids. Fucking kids. The end of the 60s, that was bad. Ask me, that's when the rot started. Hair down to here, could do with a wash, some of them. When I saw him in the street, I said, you get a wash and a proper job, gang of fucking scroungers. I told them, don't you worry. One of them came over. Comes up to me like he's going to say peace and love and flowers and all that crap. So I look a bit hard, you know. Fist ready, face like this. And he says, fuck off, creep. And he's standing right up to me and he's big, he's 6 foot, he's big as a town hall and a fair bit harder. If I'd have a gun then, I'd have come back to him that night, I'd have shot his fucking head off. Soft bloody country we are now. If this was America, they wouldn't stand for it. I mean, how do you defend yourself without a gun? All that rubbish on the streets, all over the world they come from, Africa, China, India, some of them. So I get in the gun club. Bloody forms I had to fill in. Then they check you over. Me, of course, they only had to take one look and they knew I was the right stuff. What's your name? Where do you live? Where's the check? And Margaret Thatcher. She was the last chance we had. They threw her out, didn't they? 4 years ago. 1992. And that's when I knew. She had balls. And I got my gun. I know how to use it. They taught me at the club. They never asked why. It's in this pocket here. It's 9 in the morning. Loads of kids coming in. Wait, I'm telling myself. Wait till they're all in there. I waited years for this. I can wait another 10 minutes. fucking